What's up, guys? Today I'm in our John Deere 7400, and hooked behind me is our Gale double wheel rig. This rig has 6 wheels on each side. It's kind of medium size, but it suits our needs nicely. I'm out in about a 10 to 12 acre patch of hay. Let's see. Now, this rig, it has 2 hydraulic hoses on it that hook to the tractor, and it has 3 hydraulic cylinders. Now if I look over here, here's our hydraulic levers. This one controls the wheels going up and down, and this one controls the wings spreading in and out. So if I pull back on the first small lever, like so, it's going to raise the wheels up. If I push it forward, it's going to push them down. And the same deal goes for the second lever. If I pull back on it, it'll bring the wings in. And if I push out, push forward, it'll push the wings out. You got to be careful when you're doing this because you don't want the wings to push out too far. We put a little, on that little metal piece you see back in there, we put a bolt through it so that the slider on it can't come off. We had that problem a couple times. Slider tended to come off the rig, and then we'd have to get out and push it back on, but that keeps it from coming out. Out here across the road you can see there's a giant cornfield over there. Now that belongs to a giant grain farmer who owns over half the county. Now over in that field there's a sinkhole in 2008. We'll get started again. Anyway, there's a sinkhole back there in 2008, and we had a lot of rain that year. I guess somebody wasn't paying attention when they were harvesting, and it just so happens that they ran into a giant sinkhole, which we have one sinkhole in this patch, or in this patch of hay, but it's not big enough to swallow a tractor or a combine for that matter. Anyway, yeah, it looks like somebody wasn't paying attention, and the whole front of the combine was swallowed up by the hole, and the back side of the combine was back up into the air. It was pretty funny. It happened about a quarter mile from here. There's a road just on the other side of those trees back there, and you can see over into that field, and it was pretty close to the road, but it wasn't real close, again, at the same time. They had a bunch of big tractors back there trying to pull it out when it happened. And I thought it was funny because usually that doesn't really happen. We have one sinkhole in a spot where we drive by a lot that might, maybe, like, if you were like absolutely not paying attention, you could drive right into it. Of course, you'd be swerving off the road pretty far too, but we fill them up whenever they're in a bad spot. Stop for now. Let me think. There was a sinkhole in but hay patch just like this. Maybe last year or the year before, we were ground baling. I had the truck and trailer, and I saw a dark spot just on the ground. I'm like, what the heck is that? And I was right by it, and I walked over to it, and I stuck my head under it, and I looked around, and what I was on was completely empty underneath. The ground gave out. The reason for that is because of old mining shafts in this area. Wisconsin used to have a lot of lead mining operations back in the 1900s. And now, since those are getting old, they're starting to cave in all over the place. So when you get a lot of rain, the ground becomes soft and it sinks down, and you can get random sinkholes just about anywhere. And this is what is known as a karst landscape. Basically, sinkholes can appear anywhere, also because of natural caves. There's calcium in the ground, and the calcium erodes away over time from acid rain, and that makes caves, and caves can sink too. And you can't really tell the difference between a cave and a sinkhole, but we mostly have problems with sinkholes from mine shafts and stuff like that because we have maps of where the shafts were and back in the old days. So anyway, I hope you enjoy this. I'm probably going to get started again. Trying to think of another situation. I've also had a couple times where, maybe once or twice with this tractor and twice with our 4020 in that last video I made of the 4020. I was just driving along in a pasture, and all of a sudden the wheel just kind of sunk down in the ground, and I drove away, and there's basically a large tire imprint from a sinkhole that's there. I don't know how big it was, but the ground was soft enough that it sunk in, and it took enough ground under one tire. I was lucky to get out each time. This tractor, it's easier to get out because it has four-wheel drive, but with 4020 it's kind of a riskier situation because you don't have the four-wheel drive, but you have differential lock. I've been lucky enough where it hasn't sunk in both wheels, then I'd kind of be screwed. But I haven't had any real bad experience with that yet, so. Anyway, get back to what we started on. And I just passed by a sinkhole back there. You can't really tell that it's a sinkhole. A lot of times if you just see a random dip in a field, that's a sinkhole. You kind of have to use your better judgment with it. Now that I'm at the end of the pass, I can raise it up, spin around, and start my next pass. It's right here. There we go. Okay, that kind of just got the camera out of my way for a little while. Anyway, I don't really guess I really have much to talk about anymore. Just show you a little bit more footage. Again, this will be made into small square bales tomorrow. This was cut on Tuesday. Tomorrow is Friday, so that's 3 days of waiting. Hopefully that's long enough so we can pick the bales up. If we don't leave it out, if we don't let it sit long enough, what happens is that we bale wet hay, and wet hay will either be too heavy to pick up or it'll burn your barn down. So it's a kind of a lose-lose situation if you don't let it sit in the field long enough. They're saying rain for tomorrow, but I guess we'll see how it goes. We plan on baling it, so hopefully we can get enough done in the morning. It's supposed to rain tomorrow afternoon, so. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you later.